The minute I get into the water, there's always that feeling of dread. You know, it's the first thing you think is, is this going to be worth my while? Am I going to get enough abalone to say, you know what, I came here and I took the risk and it was worth it at the end of the day. While you're diving, you think of the fears around you. You think, hey, you know what, you might be eaten by a shark or something like that. But you don't let that play on your mind, because you're going to think of it, you're not going to get anything done.
For many years we've been analysing the trade in abalone, understanding the trade dynamics, the volume, the value of poached abalone in international trade. These are almost the highest, if not the highest, poaching levels that we have seen in the last 20 or more years. We know that organised crime networks are directly involved and have been involved for many, many years. So it is a very well organised, well-established business.
Abalone has embedded as a lucrative underworld commodity in South Africa, controlled by Chinese criminal groups and local gangs. The abalone is dried in illicit facilities before being exported to Hong Kong. Sometimes this abalone is traded for crystal methamphetamine or tick. But the illicit trade has only been possible because of South Africa's unique socio-economic circumstances. More than 25 years after apartheid, poverty is still pervasive, while we have some of the world's highest income inequality. In fishing communities marginalized by shrinking quotas and still feeling the effects of apartheid, abalone became something rare. A sudden means to earn good money.
We grew up with fish, and fish is our staple food within Hamburg. My grandfather was a fisherman. You see, my grandmother, all the years, she worked in the fish factory. Both my grandfathers were fishermen. I actually grew up surviving out of the fishing industry. It was in 2005. I was in grade 11. You see, I was a problem youth at the time. Got into a fight with the teacher there, and then I left school. Then I started carrying. People think you get a good buck, but there's a lot of expenses, like every human has to cover, especially if you have children. So that was the way for me to feed my family.
An entire economy has evolved around abalone poaching, from divers to carriers, drivers, the middlemen who buy and sell on the product. In Hamburg, there are grandmothers who store poached abalone in their freezers for a small fee. Hundreds of people in this fishing community rely on abalone poaching for an income, supporting hundreds more dependents. And this is a situation that holds in many other fishing communities around the country too.
And it needs to be seen not just as a fisheries problem. It is not just a fisheries problem at all. Many other agencies need to get involved to address the problem holistically and really make a significant change.
Poaching is exciting. It's like this Robin Hood thing, where the guys poaching now are the guys with the money, so they're seen as heroes in the communities. We need to change that. We need conservationists to be heroes. It's unacceptable that any society can allow a species to go extinct. It is a reflection on our ability to manage each other, manage people. It's a societal thing, this. It's not a biodiversity thing.
The situation will stay the same, and it will produce more poachers, because they were never looked into the fact of the injustices of the past.
Because of the involvement of organised crime, the apparent links to gangs in Cape Town, the links between the trade in abalone and the trade in drugs, there are also obviously some clear negative socioeconomic impacts associated with that. So you've got, really whole cohorts of generations of people along the coastline that are involved, that are, their work experience is only within an illicit economy. They haven't acquired any legal skills. Their business contacts, relationships, their network is entirely within an illegal business. So when that business collapses, which it ultimately will, they are left unskilled and without a business or a broader social network that will allow them to easily transition into getting legal work or using those skills in the legal sector. But what we've really seen in recent years is an increase in the number of countries each year that are used to essentially launder the abalone and get it to the destination markets. So the only way in which that situation can be changed is by listing it in terms of CITES. It would automatically provide them with a legal basis on which to do inspections, and if that consignment doesn't have the right documentation, CITES documentation, then there's an infringement. They can seize the consignment and they can prosecute.
Selling the plight of the rhino is a lot easier. It's easier to understand because you can drive for 10 minutes and go and see a nature reserve and you see a rhino, whereas you really have to be able to dive to really see the abalone, and dive quite well actually. With the reduced numbers, you have to look hard to find them.
The reality really struck me one night while I was out on sea. And this place used to be like very packed with abalone. And I was like diving off the boat. It was late at night. And I saw that this place was actually depleted of abalone. And then the reality struck me that, this resource, it's not going to last. It is getting depleted. It is kind of getting thin. And the regret is that you were part of this, and it won't be around for much longer.